My name is Mike Schuler. The poems I read today, the first poem, I'll read three. The first poem is about the art fair. Sound and silence. In the pasture park, old oaks shade dry ground, their leaves quiet and still, their canopy green, their branches strong above the grassy field, where festival shout and clangor ring out. Children laugh and liltingly speak their personal languages and chase from one art to another art, to play and race and imaginate within the hubbub they create. Adult voices embrace and communicate, there a laugh shared, there a question asked, there a conversation of every day. There the barker, there the storyteller, there the music from the stage, and there the art hangs on its wall, rests in its case, stands in its own space, speaks its own language, inviting words and phrases in response, often inarticulate and amazed. The second one will be self-explanatory, titled Colorblind. I wonder why some see the world in black and white, no shades of gray, no twilight, no red, no brown, no pink, nothing between the extremes, no green field, no yellow daffodil, no blue sky, no ivory moon, no golden sun, no autumn hue, no cinnamon and tan sandstone cliffs to peruse, no azure sea, no rainbow. I wonder why some believe all things divide in two, into right and wrong, weak and strong, yes and no, me and you, into us and them, hot and cold, friend and foe, lie and truth, old and new, into black and white, not knowing their views limit their lives to the extremes they construe. And then last, just a simple poem about a simple crossing at Buena Vista. A simple crossing of the Willamette River. Wait, watch the river flow, see birds fly into trees and out. Watch the ferry follow its cable away and back as it cuts through current and creates waves. Board and pay, remember other days, other ferries, simple crossings between here and there. Cast off and look upstream and down. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the scrape and clunk of landing. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'll read three poems. All of them connect in some way to our beloved art fair. Family Exploration Day in Bush Park is underway. Children crowd around picnic tables, seize glue sticks, pipe cleaners, colored paper, safety scissors. I sit apart. My wood bench edges a grassy field, rests beneath a magnolia, its shade just enough. Sipping water and munching cucumber, cheddar cheese, pecans, a chocolate cookie, I look about. A family parades past my bench. The woman, scowling slightly, lugs a patient puppy, its dark eyes haloed by honey-hued fur. A tiny girl, curls bouncing, trots beside the man. Two boys, bumping shoulders on purpose, trail after. The younger one sees me and, still walking, holds up a slender stick topped by his white paper creation. I nod. He places an index finger to his lips. I do the same. This next poem, also by me, relates to a different art. And our art fair has brought together so many lovely aspects of all the arts. This poem is called Ballet in the Park. A back straightens, an arm begins to lift. I see which members of the audience were dancers. Movement rediscovers dormant pathways, triggers imperceptible leaps. When a ballerina tourgetes, my leg muscles twitch. We watch closely. We watch our bodies remember. This last poem is in groupings of 2 lines, and this one is by Li Si Tian. No rain, no rainbow, no sweat, no Stonehenge, no grit, no pearl, no danger, no hero, no torment, no Van Gogh, no insomnia, no poem.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Jansen, and I have a couple of poems here to read for you today. And the first one is called Willamette August Riverfront Park. It was August 1st, and it's under August 1st and before August and after. It is summer, the knife's edge of summer, transitory and lazy. It was summer, and it's under. It was Salem, and it's under Salem and on Salem's slender hip. It is a line, an ending, a beginning. It was a ribbon bisected by the dessert cups of the Center Street Bridge and cathedral walls of the Marion Street Bridge and the erector set of the Union Street Bridge, each with a necklace of mud beehive swallows' nests. It is a beautiful middle-aged woman waiting on a park bench, her wild hair on her naked shoulders, her white legs in the sun below the fringe of an airy cotton dress. It was a sunburnt hobo napping under giant cottonwoods, who occasionally, even now, exhales stray white will-o-wisp to rest on Salem Slough like the memory of work and clean sheets and kisses. It is the thigh. A minto brown island is the tongue, and it's also the tongue and the neck and the eye and hunger. It is a lover's spat that is forgotten before dinner and then starts again when the sun sets. It was white hot anger after sleep comes. It is antique green held in pink round baby hands. It was a river rock, worn smooth and idly laying on eternity's sandbar that will disappear with November rains. It is motion and fixed and solid and scent, and it is mine. So that's the first one. The second one's called Willamette August Sydney Landing. And Sydney Landing is a section of river between Buena Vista Ferry and Independence, so just south of us. It is getting toward evening, and the light is falling down. Green tree-lined banks make the river look like an eternal corridor, like one of those classic European architectural tricks where the road, flanked by tall, elegant buildings, gracefully curves away from the eye into an unknown possibility. The same here with the cottonwoods and Oregon ash, taking the place of anything created with the contrivance of human hands. Infinite and limits on display here at Sydney Landing. If the source has limits, the tree's attention on each bank blocking out the land behind tan cliffs, wicked submerged logs, the tittering of a rock shelf, amusing, so obstinate to the river's powerful cut. If this source is limited, then so are we. If the source is infinite, this water flowing from the sky to here, through another graceful corner, then another, until it finally finds its way back up into the sky, which is right now cloudless and otherwaterly blue. If the source is infinite, then assuredly, so are you and I. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Emily Rushhill. I'm a poet, novelist, and writer and poet. I live in rural Marion County, and here are my poems. Dancing with dust motes. Motes fill the air as they dance on the breeze, and the slightest movement from the wave of my arm or just the blink of my eyes. It's impossible to imagine all of the tiniest things that live on and in us, that reside in this world, that make life richer, if only we paid closer attention. But when we fail to be amazed by the abundance of life, then we are poorer for it and blinded by size instead of blessed by bounty. As dust motes move to the music of the spheres, I see them dancing and I join them, floating away on the ether, on the air, to the magic of life and movement. Dance with me now with the least of things and the greatest. Dance with the dust motes. Dance with the dragons and the unicorns, with the polar bears and the elephants. Dance with all of the life that surrounds and enriches us. And if we are very alert, we can see the least of things, the smallest as well as the largest, and we will be astonished as when we were children. Oh, to see with new eyes, eager to be carried off on the wind like a dandelion seed, floating and dancing in the warm, rising air. The Grove. Atop a hill to the west, left turn off the highway toward the coast, and up a steep road was a grove of white oaks. Old trees, tall and stately. The trees were imbued with an aura of wisdom, of awe, of wonder, like a cathedral, not man-made, much deeper, older, more elemental, essential. They radiated belonging and enveloped me in a welcoming embrace. If I could have grown roots then and there to push into the rocky soil and stay in place, becoming one with the hill, with the ground, with the grove, I would have been happy, content to exist with the trees and of those on other hills, as far as the eye could see. And last, from a singular point of view, billowing clouds race before the wind, coming from the west, others from the south. A rainy night makes the day humid, and what can be seen of the sky between the clouds is blue as heaven. Art is only entertainment and not a necessity, Science, like math, is predictive, and that is more important than art, he said. He meant all art, music, poetry, theater, film, literature, every last bit of it, as though all the pursuits of mankind were secondary to technology. True, we've improved our lives with science, but we can live without the machines. We did before. Art is communication, and by nature we are social animals like wolves and whales. We're defined by family, language, nation, and how those groups interpret the world. We require air, water, food, shelter, and community, and those things only on the most basic level to survive. From the beginning, hominids embellished tools, painted caves, and even decorated their own bodies. Expression is an intrinsic part of us. Ideas and curiosity are sparked by creativity that can lead to scientific discoveries, a poem, or both. Art is essential, and I hope one day the young man learns science is not the only way to probe the heavens, seeking knowledge, to passionately yearn for comprehension, or to plumb the depths of mystery. What better way to see through the eyes of another person than by reading a poem, to become one with the poet, to understand at a fundamental level how it feels and what it means to be another human being. The sky is a miracle, adorning the planet with clouds and storms, rain and sunshine. Thank you.
I'm Eleanor Berry, and I'm co-founder and presently chair of the Mid-Valley Poetry Society and a past president of the Oregon Poetry Association. I'm going to read 3 poems. To arrange the deck chairs on the Titanic while it's sinking, to fiddle while Rome burns. Would it be so foolish after all? There would be the image, the sound of a created order held momentarily in the mind before it was consumed. Big things coming in your future, announces the paper strip I pull from the shattered fortune cookie. Only matter of time. Already, some years back, a friend told me she'd dreamed it, the big one, upheaving the dam upriver from here, loosing the waters behind it. Only matter of time till it hits, sends torrents roaring down the canyon toward us. Still, I spend hours arranging pictures on the walls of bedroom, guest room, living room, study. I want the painted worlds to join together like voices in a part song. I want these imperiled walls to sing in the face of threat. Complex harmonies, eyes can receive and mind hold close. The second poem I'm going to read is an old one. In fact, it's 15 years old. And it goes back to this time of year 15 years ago, and it seems to resonate now. Like Anemones from the Blood of Adonis, July 2005. Heal all. Prunella vulgaris, common on every continent, this cross of Eurasian and North American subspecies, especially here, this year, when a spring unseasonably cool and wet followed a winter breaking records for warm and dry. Now, in early summer, the brush is thick with purple bloom. Heal all, self-heal, always and everywhere needed. ointment from the leaves to dress torn flesh, tea from the whole plant to drink for the heart. Greatly needed now when no continent is safe from harm. But the recipes have been forgotten, if they ever worked. Heal all, common prunella, royal purple for the common people. If not a salve or tonic, then a purple sign of sorrow for the slaughtered on every continent. So many, handsome and young as the bold hunter, beloved of Venus. Heal all, springing up everywhere as if from their blood. And I'm going to close with a poem written just last month. It refers to Walt Whitman's great elegy for Abraham Lincoln, the poem When Lilacs Last in the Dooryard Bloomed, where Whitman invokes the beautiful melancholy song of the hermit thrush. This is called What Song, June 2020. Hermit thrush, your voice of longing used to rise each spring from thickets and overgrown orchards, from decades-old rows of planted pines on the Great Lakes migratory flyway where we once lived. Now we are long gone from there to a far corner of the country, and the rewilding farms where your kind could rest and feed now are subdivided and developed, even as it takes a longer flight to reach breeding spots that aren't too warm. In memory only can we hear the notes of longing in your song, notes a grieving poet called on to bear the burden of his solemn chant, remembering the slow, ceremonious journey of Lincoln's coffin across the springtime land, freshly, deeply wounded in war. What bird now can give voice to the pain of this land? What song can sound its grief? Thank you.